Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Simpson.
As long as he enjoyed it.
Anything he wants, he showed up.
That's what it takes.
Subcommittee on Interior, Environment, and Related Agencies will come to order. Welcome to the Subcommittee's markup for the fiscal year 2027. Interior, Environment, and Related Agencies Appropriation Bill. I would like to welcome our full committee chairman, Mr. Cole, and the ranking member, Mr. Lauro, for being here today. I'm pleased to be here marking up the FY27 Interior Appropriation Bill this morning. I'd like to thank Chairman Cole for his leadership of the committee in getting us to this point in the appropriations process. I also want to recognize Ranking Member DeLauro and all her work on getting us to the process also. Ranking Member Pingree, she has done a fantastic job. She consistently demonstrates her commitment to the important issues of this subcommittee, and I appreciate her continued partnership. With Ranking Member Pingree's support, the subcommittee was able to hold a number of timely and informative hearings on the FY27 budget request. We may have held more hearings than almost any other subcommittee. And one very educational roundtable, and if you missed the bird display, next year you won't. Anyway, I look forward to continuing our work together to move the Interior Bill forward. Finally, I want to extend my thanks to the members of staff on both sides of the aisle for their hard work, and it does take a lot of work to get one of these bills put together, and they've done a fantastic job. The FY27 Interior Bill reflects our commitment to our nation's natural resources, unleashing American energy dominance, and our commitment to our trust and treaty obligations for Indian tribes. The recommendation totals $38.9 billion. This bill prioritizes investments in health, safety, education, and economic well-being of our tribal communities. I have consistently said that I refuse to balance this budget or try to balance this budget on the back of our tribes, and we continue that commitment with the choices we make in this bill. The bill provides $8.7 billion for the Indian Health Services for FY27 and $6.1 billion in advanced appropriations for FY28. $1.5 billion for the Bureau of Indian Education, $3.2 billion for the BIA, including $774.8 million for public safety and justice programs to support law enforcement in Indian country, and $204.8 million, a $204.8 million increase over the FY26 enacted level. This includes $33 million for the Missing, Murdered, and Indigenous Women Initiative, which I know is which you may know is very important to me and to the members of this subcommittee. This bill also fully funds the must-pay costs for our tribes, including contract support costs and Section 105L leases, which saw significant increases for FY27. The total funding in this bill for Indian country builds on the same strong investments we proposed in our FY26 bill. We continue to fully fund the Payment in Lieu of Taxes program, which provides payments to nearly every state in the country for certain tax-exempt federal lands. The bill also supports the administration's proposal to streamline firefighting activities through the Department of Interior through the establishment of the U.S. Wildland Fire Service. The bill continues support for federal wildland firefighters and provides additional funding to support wildfire pay, helping improve recruitment and retention and giving financial certainty to the men and women protecting our communities from catastrophic wildfires. Giving these priorities, the bill makes fiscally responsible reductions to most other appropriations. For example, the EP is cut by nearly $1.8 billion, or 20% below the enacted level. The bill continues to fund grants that go directly to states and tribes for water infrastructure projects and to help fulfill their delegated authority under federal law like the Clean Water Act and the Clean Drinking Water Act. These programs are important for issuing permits for continued development and economic growth. The bill also includes community project funding for almost 1,200 EPA clean and drinking water infrastructure projects for 316 members. While requests greatly exceeded the funding available for projects, we did our best to provide some funding for all eligible projects given the impact these dollars have in communities across the country. Lastly, the bill echoes the administration's efforts to roll back costly regulatory overreach and promote domestic energy production by providing the funding requested by the administration for onshore oil and gas development and offshore critical mineral leasing. limiting the prior administration's attempt to abuse the Endangered Species Act, and ensuring continued access to our public lands and expanding the access to hard rock and critical minerals. In closing, I'm proud of the work reflected in this bill to balance competing priorities while focusing spending where it is most needed to address critical needs across Indian country, protecting our federal lands from wildfire, and unleashing America's energy and domestic mineral development. I look forward to working with Ranking Member Pingree and the other members to move this interior bill forward. Now I'd recognize Ranking Member Pingree for her opening remarks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, for yielding, and thank you to everyone for being here this morning. I want to thank Chairman Cole and Ranking Member DeLauro and staff on both sides of the aisle for their work on this bill. Chairman Simpson, I appreciate our working relationship and that we were able to find common ground last year to enact a bipartisan full-year funding bill. I think those of us on the committee understood our responsibility and the importance of achieving such a milestone, particularly during a tumultuous time for our government. Unfortunately, currently the bill before us reverts to the same partisan playbook with grossly insufficient funding and a surplus of poison pill riders. This bill cuts the EPA by 20%. This agency has already lost 1/5 of its workforce since President Trump took office. The cuts in this bill would completely cripple EPA's ability to fight climate change, respond to environmental disasters, and hold polluters accountable. Meanwhile, the administration continues to roll back regulations that protect public health and the environment, including an announcement earlier this week that will increase exposure to toxic forever chemicals. I'm disappointed that this bill further cuts funding to our states for water infrastructure. This is the first year that states won't have the additional funding provided by the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, and I believe that it is critical that we don't lose the momentum we built with those investments. Amid all of this, the President is diverting significant resources towards pet projects that most Americans oppose, tearing down the East Wing for his ridiculous ballroom, dumping toxic debris in a national park golf course, and making the reflecting pool look more like a swimming pool. The arch, which they're planning to move forward on with no legal authority, this list goes on. At the same time, this administration is trying to sideline anything it deems artistically or culturally offensive, regardless of the effect its decisions will have on people and communities. Last year, the Trump administration illegally terminated thousands of grants at both the National Endowment for the Arts and the National Endowment for the Humanities. A judge has since ruled that the mass termination of NEH grants was, quote, unlawful, unconstitutional, and without legal effect. This is money that is supposed to support scholars, research institutions, and humanities organizations. Instead, the administration is using it as another funding source for the president's pet projects, including the Arch and the Garden of Heroes. In the wake of these assaults, it is critical that Congress assert its support for the NEA and the NEH. So I am vehemently opposed to the cuts in this bill, which would slash each endowment by $72 million or 35%. With a relatively small budget, the NEA helps power a $1.2 trillion arts economy, creating jobs and sustaining main streets in even the smallest towns. NEA funds go to book groups for veterans, to after-school theater programs in rural towns, to folk festivals that preserve cultural heritage, to local arts councils. Cutting the NEA doesn't just silence voices and stymie creators, it erases the spaces where healing, connection, and community happen. The bill also cuts funding for cultural institutions, such as the National Gallery of Arts and the Smithsonian Institution. Last year, we prevailed and beat back these cuts, and I intend to do the same this year. While the administration is focused on building a gilded ballroom and a triumphal arch in the president's honor, Americans are facing soaring gas and energy prices. It is deeply disappointing that this bill does nothing to rein in the administration's assault on energy projects that states have been counting on. Rather than including policies fighting the administration's use of $2 billion in taxpayer dollars for payouts to companies for abandoning offshore wind projects, this bill just continues to pile on by adding additional fees for offshore wind companies. Finally, I have to express my opposition to the dozens of poison pill riders included in the bill. These riders aim to cripple environmental protection, undermine climate change policies, and override the Endangered Species Act. Frankly, I'm surprised the majority even feels they are necessary, since this administration is already doing all of these things. For example, just 2 months ago, it convened its so-called God Squad and exempted all Gulf of Mexico oil and gas activities from the Endangered Species Act. As written, this bill before us is not something I can support. I opposed the bill, and I urge my colleagues to oppose it, and I yield back.
Thank you. Chairman Cole?
Thank you, Chairman Simpson. Thank you, Ranking Member Pingree, and certainly I thank my good friend, Ranking Member of the full. It's on. So maybe it was just a late night last night. Deloro and all the members of the committee on both sides of the aisle. Today, we continue our fiscal year 2027 work with the Interior and Environmental Appropriations Bill. The measure before us marks a focus on effective stewardship, one where we manage our lands responsibly, unleash domestic energy, strengthen wildfire response, and ensure agencies are focused on core missions. To fulfill these objectives, we provide critical and targeted funding to the Department of Interior and the Environmental Protection Agency and the U.S. Forest Service, with investments reinforcing America's natural, cultural, and environmental resources. Importantly, this bill also reflects our commitment to honoring and upholding our sacred trust and treaty oaths to protect Native American communities. I'm proud that the legislation prioritizes funding for the accounts that deliver critical services to Indian country. Building on our work from last year, we're again enhancing resources for the Bureau of Indian Affairs, the Bureau of Indian Education, the Bureau of Trust Funds Administration, and the Indian Health Service, because delivering better outcomes for tribal communities strengthens our nation and supports long-term stability. I appreciate Chairman Simpson's common-sense approach to directing funding to the initiatives that connect our communities, grow opportunity, and reinforce our way of life. Altogether, this bill takes a conservative and common-sense approach to managing our nation's resources. It reduces regulatory burdens, protects American jobs, and unleashes domestic energy. It invests in the mapping, exploration, and development needed to fuel America's prosperity and strengthen our national security. And it ensures Americans continue to have responsible access to the lands and resources they rely on every day. Working together, Chairman Simpson, Ranking Member Pingree did an excellent job in crafting an effective bill. I thank him, the Ranking Member, and the majority and minority staff for their hard work. I look forward to consideration of this legislation today, and with that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Thank you. Ranking Member DeLauro.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I want to say thank you to you and to Ranking Member Pingree, and to, again, yes, my dear friend Chairman Cole. It's always great to be with all of you, though I spent a lot of time with all of you, most recently. I wanted to say a thank you to the committee staff, to Rita Culp, Tyler Coe, and the minority, Maggie Earl, Sarah Piri, Andrea Sparks-Ibanga, and Lucy Alford, and the majority. Thank you so much for your hard work always. I am opposed to the bill we are considering today because it puts the interests of corporate polluters over those of working families. It saddles vulnerable Americans with higher costs for energy and utilities, while severely weakening environmental protections. And it does nothing to push back against the administration raiding funds meant for the arts and humanities to pay for President Trump's triumphal arch. It just makes me reflect on, centuries ago with, in France, where there was a monarch who said, let them eat cake. And so for the American people, it's about letting them eat cake. This bill cuts the EPA's overall budget by 20%. Substantially scaling back the agency's ability to prevent pollution, punish polluters, keep our communities clean. Specifically, it cuts enforcement under the EPA nearly in half. Earlier this week, we learned that the Trump administration is rolling back restrictions on, quote, forever chemicals in our drinking water. These are contaminants that we know are harmful to human beings. And yet the Trump administration decided that allowing corporations to continue polluting is more important than protecting the health of our communities. Gutting the enforcement budget for the EPA will only allow more pollution to take place. This bill also includes numerous policy riders that impede the EPA's ability to enforce regulations under the Clean Air Act, the Clean Water Act, and other laws governing hazardous waste. Clean air and clean water are basic necessities that every American is entitled to. They are not exclusive luxuries reserved only for a privileged few. Not only will our communities be left in a dirtier environment under this bill, but they will have to pay higher prices for it as well. This bill slashes water infrastructure funding by $576 million, including an $86 million cut to states for infrastructure projects that support clean drinking water and sanitary wastewater systems. Eliminating these funds will saddle our communities with these additional costs. The bill also continues the president's bizarre war on wind power by imposing additional fees on offshore wind projects, disincentivizing the production of new energy sources. Generating more energy is key to bringing down costs, and clean energy is the future. But this bill seems designed to keep us stuck in the past, even as our global competitors race ahead. This bill slashes funding for the National Endowment for the Arts and the National Endowment for the Humanities by $72 million each. It's a 35% cut. It has been said that robust investment in the arts is a mark of any advanced society. And yes, the arts and humanities are the soul of this nation. It's a reflection of who we are, what our history is, what our past has been, and where we want to go in the future. It is a reflection of our humanity. The use of public funds for private ends, however, is a mark of a civilization in decline. This bill gives the administration a pass for taking humanities funding from our communities in order to pay for an arch, a ballroom, a reflecting pool, vanity projects that President Trump admits being built for himself. At a time when the American people are struggling to make ends meet, this bill makes the problem worse, does nothing to bring down costs, while allowing the billionaires and the big corporations who have profited by polluting our communities to get even richer. Meanwhile, the air we breathe and the water we drink gets less and less safe. I encourage my colleagues to oppose this bill. As the ranking member pointed out, we did come to a good conclusion in the last go-round. We're all on this planet together. We ought to take better care of it. I encourage my friends across the aisle. Let's work with the Democrats. Let's craft a bipartisan bill that protects the environment, keeps our community safe and healthy, and helps to bring down costs for working families. Thank you, and I yield back.
I thank the ranking member. Are there other members who wish to make comments? Ms. McCollum.
Mr. Chairman, thank you for the opportunity to yield. I want to thank you and Ranking Member Pingree and all the staff for the work that you do on this subcommittee. And you're right, we held a lot of hearings, and I thank you for that. The only time I missed them, well, I'm just going to blame Ken for scheduling defense hearings. The increases in this bill to the Bureau of Indian Affairs, Indian Education, Indian Health Services, as Chairman Cole pointed out, it's necessary for meeting our tribal trust and treaty responsibilities. And I am so proud and honored to work on this committee and the way it has forged over the years with many of us who have just never abandoned this committee, stayed on it, to prioritize funding for Indian country and to right the wrongs of too many broken promises. And we stand united on this. But that means, Chairman Cole, when you give the subcommittee an allocation, you increase it, we put it towards tribal affairs. It's not big enough, so other things get cut and left by the wayside. So I do have concerns with the funding in this bill for the cuts to the other agencies, and of course for the partisan riders that have been mentioned. So at this time, I can't support the passage out of committee. The bill before us, as you know, it's been pointed out, the cuts to the EPA, and I won't get into what I'll say in my opening comments and spare you all of that. But the cuts to the science and technology is just, in my opinion, a rubber stamp for what this administration has taken this election to mean, that it has an absolute ability to reshape the entire government and into their image and the way that they'd like to see it move forward. And I just strongly disagree with that. I also want to just point out a couple of things that I'm going to try to work with you on, Mr. Chair, and other members of the committee. The 20% cut to the Office of International Programs and Trade is concerning to me. And I know you tried to protect, because we worked on this before, the best that you could. But that's responsible for enforcing the Lacey Law, which works on illegal trafficking on fish, wildlife, and plants. And it strengthens trade compliance and prevents the introduction of harmful species into the United States ecosystem. So, you know, saving $1 here now could cost the next generation irreparable harm. So I believe that the president's going to be serious about his trade policies. It's going to require us to be intact and fully fund the office to protect the American forest and domestic wood products, which we are very proud of in Minnesota and many parts of this country. And as I said, I could talk about the cuts to the Smithsonian, the National Endowment for the Arts and the Humanities. We're all going to work on that together. But I do have a way we can pay for this bill. And it's called going back to not having payment in lieu of, catch the word, taxes in this bill. It belongs in the tax bill, not in the interior bill. And I'm going to figure out and draft legislation to get it the, excuse my language, the hell out of here. So the other thing I want to give you a heads up on Chairman and Ranking Member Pingree is what the president has done now with removing buffalo from grazing lands to putting cattle on it. I want to figure all this out and see what we can do to make this work, because we've worked very hard to protect this iconic species, which is indigenous and life support and culture to Native Americans, as well as many of us who cherish the buffalo and eat it. I ate the tongue. Two of you didn't when we were at the tribal reservation. It's delicious, by the way. And I say this as a granddaughter of a rancher. I'm not opposed to cattle. I'm not out to, you know, declare war on cattle, but I think we can maybe try to do a better job on that. So I think the committee members, this truly is a very special, it's special to be on the Appropriations Committee, but it's very special for me to continue my work on this committee. And I thank both the ranking member and the chair for their indulgence in letting me vent a little bit. Thank you.
Thank you, and thanks for bringing up the tongue. Those were memories. And if you can get payment in lieu of taxes out of this, that's great. But while you're working on that, why don't you get the Indian water rights settlements out of this and into the judgment fund also? So I'm just suggesting. I'm
from the East.
Anyway, are there other members who wish to make opening statements? Mr. Zinke.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On cattle, if you want buffalo to graze on public land, then change the Taylor Grazing Act. And until you change the Taylor Grazing Act, food production on leased land is exactly that. It's for national food production. So there's nothing wrong with buffalo on private property. Matter of fact, the deer that passed recently, Ted Turner had the largest buffalo herd in Montana. So Montana doesn't object to buffalo.
I know.
We object to grazing on land that violates the Taylor Grazing Act. And that land on leased land on BLM is for production. So with that,
I want to eat more buffalo.
I love buffalo. You know, I'd love to shoot one.
Let's see if we can work on it together.
You know, I'm pro buffalo, and just so you know.
I know.
But anyway,
I'm pro
Take
cattle.
sides here.
grazing's grazing.
Sign up.
I'm pro bison.
Oh.
Are there other members who wish to make?
Cody is football team.
Are there other members who wish to make opening statements? Mr. Amadei.
No, thank you, I yield back.
Hearing no other members to wish to make opening statements, I'd recognize our Vice Chairman, Ms. Lloyd, for the purposes of making a motion.
I move the bill be favorably reported to the full committee.
Question is on the motion. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no.
No.
Opinion of the chair, the ayes have it.
Request a roll call.
The motion is agreed to. Those, a recorded vote is requested. Those supporting a recorded vote will raise their hands. Sufficient number having raised their hands, a recorded vote is ordered. Members, or the clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Ambeday? Yes. Mr. Ambeday, aye. Mr. Cloud? Aye. Mr. Cloud, aye. Mr. Clyburn? Mr. Clyburn, no. Mr. Cole?
Aye.
Mr. Cole, aye. Ms. DeLauro?
No.
Ms. DeLauro, no. Mr. Elzey? Aye. Mr. Elzey, aye. Mr. Harder?
No.
Mr. Harder, no. Ms. Malloy? Aye. Ms. Malloy, aye. Ms. McCollum?
No, thank you at this time.
Ms. McCollum, no, thank you. Ms. Pingree? No. Ms. Pingree, no. Mr. Rushenthaler? Mr. Simpson?
Aye.
Mr. Simpson, aye. Mr. Zinke? Aye. Mr. Zinke, aye.
Does anyone wish to record their votes or change their votes? Hearing none, clerk will tally. On this vote, the ayes are 7, the nays are 5. The bill is favorably reported to the full committee. I ask unanimous consent that staff be permitted to make technical and conforming changes to the bill and report without objection. So ordered. Copies of the bill and report with the technical and conforming changes will be delivered to all full committee members' offices no later than 3 days before the full committee markup. And I believe the full committee markup is on the 3rd of, what month is that? June. 3rd of June, the week after we get back. Anyway, thank you all for being here today. I appreciate everyone's participation. With that, today's markup is concluded. Committee stands adjourned.
thing we didn't put, but you want to throw in a mention to the crucifixes. We're getting
Good morning. The Subcommittee on Transportation, Housing, and Urban Development and related agencies will come to order. Welcome to the Subcommittee markup for the fiscal year 2027 Transportation, Housing, and Urban Development and related agencies appropriations bill. Welcome Chairman Cole, Ranking Member DeLauro, and Ranking Member Clyburn, and fellow colleagues. The discretionary allocation for the bill is $92.2 billion, $10.7 billion below the fiscal 26 level. We've also redirected $7.8 billion from low-priority programs funded through the IIJA to support higher priority programs like air traffic control, highways, and freight rail. The bill prioritizes transportation safety on our railroads, highways, and in our skies, and ensures a responsible safety net with housing support for our most vulnerable citizens, especially the elderly, the disabled, veterans, and the working poor. This bill champions the priorities of the Trump administration, such as $732 million to support the President's Maritime Action Plan. It includes $165 million for capital needs of the Merchant Marine Academy and historic investment in our nation's mariners. This bill continues our commitment to maintaining America's global leadership in aviation through workforce and infrastructure investments. We provide funding to hire and train 2,300 new air traffic controllers, building on historic funding in FY26 for our controller workforce. And we provide another $4 billion for FAA facilities and equipment to build a world-class national airspace system. The bill includes $350 million set aside in the BUILD program for high-growth areas like my Northwest Arkansas, Charleston, Huntsville, and Jacksonville. I know all too well that growing communities face unique infrastructure demands, and this kind of targeted initiative is a responsible use of federal dollars. We've included $875 million to support transportation needs for the Olympics, building on the $94 million this committee provided in fiscal 26. The 2028 Games will put America on center stage, and this investment will ensure that we are prepared to meet the moment. I would note that the T&I Committee is marking up their 5-year surface transportation reauthorization today. This bill cuts the check for the Highway Trust Fund programs, and we look forward to tracking progress on that bill. In the meantime, our 27 mark holds those trust fund programs at fiscal 26 levels. The bill provides $64.5 billion for highway programs, including $200 million for tribal transportation and $200 million for truck parking. These resources are directly allocated to state departments of transportation, enabling state and local governments to collaborate on high-priority road projects. The bill invests $523 million for the Consolidated Rail Infrastructure and Safety Improvements Grant Program, CRISI, supporting freight rail infrastructure. The bill meets our responsibility to support our most vulnerable citizens who rely on housing assistance while implementing fiscal discipline. The funds provided in this bill support authorized rental assistance programs at a fiscally responsible level of $58 billion for Section 8 vouchers, projects-based rental assistance, and programs that serve the elderly and disabled. The bill provides $4.2 billion for homeless assistance grants, including $3.8 billion for the Continuum of Care program. This program faced a lot of uncertainty last year. This bill continues a bipartisan agreement to ensure certainty for local providers while returning competition to the program. We fund community development block grants at $3.3 billion, maintaining a program that was proposed for elimination. As a former mayor, I know how important this program is to meet local needs. We also include programs that leverage private dollars to support housing affordability, like Home, Shop, and NeighborWorks. This bill represents a responsible approach that prioritizes core infrastructure needs, maintains an essential safety net for our most vulnerable citizens, and implements the fiscal discipline and regulatory relief that the American people demanded in the last election. I believe the decisions in this bill will have a positive impact in every congressional district while meeting our responsibility to rein in spending and reduce regulatory overreach. In conclusion, I want to thank all the members of this subcommittee for their participation in the process. This bill reflects many of your priorities, and I want to thank my dear friend, Ranking Member Clyburn, for his collaboration and respect during this process. I've learned from each of you through our hearing process and all the ideas you've brought to me either through your formal requests or through casual conversations. This bill is better because of your participation. I also want to thank Chairman Cole for his leadership in moving appropriation bills forward. This gives us a legitimate shot at completing our work without endless continuing resolutions. Chairman Cole, the re-engineering you've done to this long-established appropriations process speaks for itself, and we are all eternally grateful. While the Senate is yet to act on their version of the bill, I'm pleased that we're doing our job in the House to have the best possible position at the negotiating table. I look forward to working with all of you as this bill moves forward, and I ask for your support for this legislation. With that said, I now recognize my good friend, Representative Mr. Clyburn, for his opening remarks. Jim?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Chairman Cole, Ranking Member DeLauro. Thanks to all of you. Across this country, families are struggling to make ends meet. Whether it's rising rents, a shrinking job market, or increasing costs at the gas pump, 76% of Americans see the cost of living as their biggest economic concern. In my home state of South Carolina, 46% of likely voters identified inflation and cost of living as their biggest concern. Yet, the bill before us proposes to eliminate all investments for eviction prevention and reduces HUD's homeless assistance grants by more than $256 million. This comes at a time when more than 771,000 people are experiencing homelessness across America, and 75% of low-income renters spend more than half of their income on rent. Despite a shortage of more than 7 million housing units, the bill eliminates programs that cut red tape and guts new affordable housing production by 60%. By cutting housing counseling assistance in half, this bill also limits opportunities for families to create and build wealth and achieve the dream of home ownership. These programs not only help ensure working families and seniors remain homeowners, but they continue to contribute to a stable and thriving housing economy. As if Americans are not already struggling to access a home they can afford, the bill cuts support for local organizations at the front lines of fair housing enforcement by 64%. People with disabilities, who account for 55% of individuals filing discrimination claims, will bear the brunt of these decisions. Although this bill rejects many of the harmful policy riders that would weaken transportation safety, it does not come without trade-offs. For transportation, the bill would practically eliminate public transit and bus service improvement projects, zeroes out investments for Amtrak, and takes $7.9 billion from the bipartisan infrastructure law in a robbing Peter to pay Paul gimmick to make up for a woefully inadequate allocation. Democrats have shown that they are willing to compromise in these areas, but it cannot be at the expense of programs important to our constituents. Let's be honest about what's happening here. For months, Republicans have allowed the president to wage a war overseas, which the University of Pennsylvania's Wharton budget model estimates is costing the American people roughly $800 million to $1 billion per day. Meanwhile, experts at the Harvard Kennedy School project this illegal war would increase the deficit by at least $1 trillion over the next decade. Let's not forget that just last year, Republicans increased the deficit by trillions of dollars over the next decade through tax cuts for billionaires and big businesses when they pass their big, ugly bill. Mr. Chairman, I understand the challenges that lie ahead of you and all of us. My hope is that we can get to a place where we can put politics aside and do that which is necessary to make America's greatness accessible and affordable for all. Unfortunately, this bill fails to meet that goal. I urge my colleagues to vote no on this bill, and I thank you. But before yielding back my time, Mr. Chairman, I notice she's not here.
She's coming.
She is on her way. Well, maybe I will.
Just wait.
I want her to know that I said some kind things about it. Ms. Watson Coleman is on the way, so I'll wait until she gets here, if you allow me to recognize her at the moment. If so, I'll yield back.
Thank you. Appreciate the ranking member. If only you could say some nice things about me now. Yes.
I always do.
I'm only kidding.
And I really do mean it when I do.
Oh, and I know that. I'd now like to recognize the distinguished chairman of the Appropriations Committee, Mr. Cole, for his opening remarks.
Well,
Chairman?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and Ranking Member Clyburn, certainly my good friend Ranking Member DeLauro, and all of you for being here. And I can throw away my prepared remarks and just say nice things about you for, if you need an ego fix this morning, I'm happy to participate in that. But today's Transportation, Housing, and Urban Development Bill is about building a stronger America, with a focus on modernizing infrastructure, improving travel, and supporting communities across the nation. This measure responsibly funds critical priorities while safeguarding taxpayer dollars. With targeted investments in surface infrastructure and new budget authorities to rebuild critical systems, we're delivering resources to build the most modern, safe, and efficient transportation system in the world. This will benefit all Americans and pay dividends for our nation. From the traveling public to freight haulers, improving national connectivity is critical to keeping America moving. The safety of our skies and seas is also reinforced. This bill provides enhanced resources for FAA facilities and equipment to modernize air traffic control, hire needed controllers, and accelerate the deployment of new technologies. And on the maritime front, we provide strong support for programs and initiatives that support our supply chain and our defense. The bill empowers communities through local development, housing initiatives, and resources to help the vulnerable, making a difference where Americans live and work. From our founding, America has always been a nation that builds. This bill continues that tradition by investing in the networks and infrastructure that power commerce, connect communities, and improve everyday life for families. I appreciate the dedication of Chairman Womack, his work alongside Ranking Member Clyburn, and the majority and minority staff throughout this process. I look forward to advancing this bill and the FY27 process. Thank you again, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate the manner in which you lead this committee and the manner in which you work across the aisle to get things done. And with that, I yield back.
I thank the overall chairman. I'm going to yield a brief moment to Mr. Clyburn to finish his opening remarks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. And thank you so much, Ms. Watson Coleman, for gracing us with your presence this morning. You missed one of the joys of your life in missing my opening statement, but I'm going to revisit that today to thank you so much. We recognize that this is your last mock-up on this subcommittee, and you have served on this committee for 7 years. You've served as a friend of mine for many, many more. And as I said about the chairman a little earlier, when I say you're my friend, I really do mean it. And I thank you so much for your service. Now, we're going to miss your hard work. I will miss your company on the floor. But it may be missing your company from home. It all depends on what happens in South Carolina later this week. We will greatly missed your decision-making, but it is my hope that you will visit us as often as you can, and hopefully, whatever lies ahead, you meet it with as much joy as you've given all of us with your presence here. And with that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Thank you. Well said. Well said. Thank you, Ms. Watson-Coleman, for your service. Now I'd like to recognize the ranking member of the overall committee, Ms. DeLauro, for her opening remarks.
Thank you very much, Chairman Womack, and thank you, Ranking Member Clyburn. I said at the earlier subcommittee markup, it's just wonderful to continue to spend so much time with all of you. It's just, and it is, it really is. So, and Chairman Cole, it's always good to be with you. Let me say a thank you to the staff, Christina Monroe, Nora Fay, Jackie Kilroy. On the minority side, Doug Disrud, Avery Pearson, Andrew Giacchini, Mary Beth Pavlik, Heather Campbell, and Alexandra Mendewa for the majority. We are all so grateful for the hard work that you put into this effort, which helps us to do our work. I, too, before I begin my comments, I want to acknowledge Congresswoman Bonnie Watson-Coleman. It is the last subcommittee markup for THUD, and what a privilege it has been to work with you over the years, Bonnie, and I mean that very sincerely. I'm always, when the chair calls on you and you stand up, I know always it's going to be, direct, right to the point. You don't pull punches, but you've been such an advocate for housing, for equality, for making sure that people have what they need and understand that there is so much that we can do as members, and you really understand that in your bones. And helping vulnerable communities have a roof over their head, and we're in this committee today. I look forward to our work together, and you said something very special to me last night, and when I thanked you for speaking up, and it's very personal, and you said, I always have your back, and I know that, and I'm very, very, I can't tell you how proud I am that you're there, and I thank you for always having my back. You're a dear, dear, wonderful friend. Thank you. We will miss you. Thanks so much. Mr. Chairman, I oppose the bill under consideration today because it does nothing to bring down the rising costs that confront American families each and every day. In fact, by slashing funding for programs that help families who are struggling to stay afloat amid rising costs, this bill makes the problems even worse. At a time when the rising cost of living is not a hoax, affordability is not a hoax. Rising cost of living, there's a shortage of affordable housing, are pushing more and more people out onto the street. This bill proposes to slash critical assistance that helps families keep a roof over their heads. This bill cuts funding for public housing by $1.3 billion. This will cause cuts to rent, utility payments for some 2,700 housing agencies across the country, put hundreds of thousands of low-income households at risk of eviction. I was evicted at 9 years old. Went home on a Friday night with my mom and dad, and all of our possessions were out onto the street. It wasn't because my mother and father were dogging it. They worked hard all of their lives and were financially challenged all of their lives. But they just couldn't make it. And so we lived with my grandmother until we were able to get back on their feet. So I know what it feels like to be evicted. These cuts include the complete elimination of funding that addresses lead-based paint hazards in nearly 700,000 low-income housing units, which have been deemed at risk of lead exposure. This bill cuts funding that supports vulnerable people who are living without homes by slashing homeless assistance grant funding by $256 million. This bill rolls back aid for the more than 771,000 people experiencing homelessness and will prevent tens of thousands of people from getting off the street and into stable homes. That is a 1-2 punch in funding cuts. First, they slash the program that helps people afford housing. Then after that, they are pushed out onto the street. It scales back assistance for people without homes. The message is clear. Costs are going up, and you are on your own. Meanwhile, the bill retreats from efforts to address the affordable housing crisis by gutting investment in programs like HOME that increase the supply of affordable housing, NeighborWorks, which provides the funding backbone for nearly 250 local organizations that construct and rehabilitate affordable housing in every state. It is cut by over 20%. The rising cost of housing means more people are having to make longer commutes to and from work, as the distance between a decent wage job and an affordable home is getting wider and wider. But instead of investing in our transportation infrastructure to extend economic opportunity far and wide, this bill raids funds from the bipartisan infrastructure law, zeroes out funding for new transit capital investment grants. This means halting ongoing projects designed to eliminate transportation deserts and expand public transit. When you account for the funds raided from the bipartisan infrastructure law, this bill cuts the Federal Transit Administration by 92%. It cuts funding for the Federal Railroad Administration by $1.5 billion, 84%, including funding for Amtrak's national network and the Northeast Corridor. And it eliminates all new funding for the Federal Highway Administration. Transportation infrastructure is an economic engine. It connects our communities and extends prosperity. As costs are rising and jobs are waning, we cannot afford to isolate ourselves by failing to invest in our infrastructure. Throughout the country, families are struggling to stay afloat as the cost of living keeps climbing and climbing. Instead of extending a lifetime, this bill cuts off support. I encourage my colleagues to oppose the bill before us today. Let's negotiate on a bipartisan basis to craft a bill that meets the needs of the American people. Thank you, and I yield back.
I thank the gentlelady for her opening comments. Are there any other members gathered here this morning who wish to make opening remarks? Mr. Quigley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First, to my seatmate, I didn't really know Ms. Watson-Coleman all that well until we started sitting next to each other. For those of you who haven't had that experience, it is educational, inspiring, and entertaining all at the same time. So I'm happy for her because she gets to escape the island. Well, we wish her all so well. And Mr. Chairman, I was going to say this before you said anything. For those who don't know, we flip-flopped being chair and ranker on FSGG before, and in your role as chairman here. It is genuinely a model for how we should work together. I think the theme is karma. You'd want the majority to treat you. You need to act like you'd want to be treated if you were in the minority. And it's always been the case. It's always been extremely helpful and thoughtful, and as your staff has, so thank you. And you know, I think we need to be candid at this time now, because I think we have a transit and a housing crisis at the same time. And there's plenty of shared blame or responsibility or whatever you want to call about that. But we do have some things that we appreciate very much about in this bill, and that's you restored funds for HAPA and the Community Development Block Grants, extremely important. We are still concerned about cuts in Section 8 vouchers, the Public Housing Fund, homeless assistance grants, housing counseling, self-sufficiency funds, and so forth. But let me just touch on that part about sharing responsibility for building housing. You know, I think the cuts the administration have made have been devastating, but I think at the same time we need to look at what's happening with tariffs right now and how that affects the cost of things and supply chains and the energy costs that are part of this. We are already seeing changes in contracts due to energy costs making everything far more expensive. But on a local level, I think there's also a responsibility we have to look at and offer a carrot and stick approach to encourage more housing being built. You know, if you look at Chicago, a lot of this is the building code. A lot of this is our zoning code. Because believe it or not, it costs more to build a subsidized unit in Chicago than a market rate unit. As the developers in North Lawndale and Roseland have told me, affordable isn't affordable, and we need to get past that. And there is legislation afoot that will incentivize, again, encouraging and discouraging, encouraging good behavior and discouraging bad behavior, because all that matters is that we build a heck of a lot more housing, because it helps on all fronts. And shifting as much as possible our emphasis from just building more and more rental to building, permanent housing for folks. Again, I was in North Lawndale last weekend, and we look at names and we look at numbers on paper here. I got to meet 30 families that were actually getting into their own house, and their kids are going to have a backyard. And it's inspiring as it can possibly be to see what that means for folks. So just a few thoughts on transportation here. Some of these cuts coming at a time when air travel, for example, is going to be so dramatically increased, the Olympics, World Cup, and so forth. O'Hare's now, again, the busiest airport in the world. It's also in my district, so I think we have to understand just what all that means and how to address those things. So I understand that it's typical to say this is all your fault. I'm very concerned about where this president is on all these policies, but I think if we decide we're going to work together to increase these investments, we can do both, recognizing that transit and housing are virtually the same issue. They're so intertwined, and you can't think of one without the other. And if we're willing to do that, starting with this bill, we'll make a lot of progress. So thank you all.
I thank the gentleman for his kind words and his participation on this subcommittee. Others who wish to speak? Ms. Watson-Coleman?
Good morning. First of all, let me thank Ranking Member Delora and Ranking Member Clyburn for your kind remarks, as well as my seatmate. It's been an honor and a blessing to work under your leadership and your mentorship. And let me just say to you, Mr. Cole and Mr. Womack, it's been a blessing for me to be a part of this subcommittee and the committee in general. I must rise in opposition to this bill today, though. We always say that our budget reflects our values, and this bill shows how little I believe the majority seem to care about housing and transportation access across our country. The overall funding levels of this bill are 8% less than FY26 funding. It falls short in providing for the needs of the American people. With the cost of housing continuing to rise and the rise of inflation due to the president's war of choice, the American dream of a home ownership is further than it's been in decades. This bill cuts the Home Investment Partnership Program by $750 million, or 60% below the 2026, which will result in 27,000 fewer affordable housing units being developed at a time when housing is so critically needed and so sorely unrepresented. It also cuts more than $355 million for Section 8 voucher programs while ripping up the tenant protection assistances by half. This bill contains a 15% cut in public housing, or nearly $1.3 billion below FY26, which will lead to a rise in rent and utility payments to 2,700 public housing agencies across the country, and could then lead to thousands of Americans being forced on the streets. Not to mention the elimination of funding that addresses lead-based paint hazards in nearly 700,000 low-income units at risk of lead exposures. The transportation funding part of this bill really doesn't fare much better. Once again, there's an attack on the Northeast Corridor, the busiest and most profitable section of rail in the entire nation, receiving only $650 million, or a $200 million cut from FY26. This is on top of the elimination of the federal-state partnership for inner-city passenger rail delaying advancement in the safety and reliability of our passengers and freight rail system. Public transit is also under attack. The Transit Formula Grant received $308 million less, and Transit Infrastructure Program receives $768 million less than 2026. Millions of Americans rely on public transit to get to work, a doctor's appointment, or just to see friends and family. And let me just say that a lot of those people, a good portion of those people, are very low-income individuals. Denying these funds puts these people at a greater disadvantage. Housing and transportation are some of the most important basic needs people require and are the most essential things government can provide. I don't see how we're able to serve the constituents we represent with funding cuts at this level. I want to work with my Republican colleagues across the aisle to draft a bill that reflects those needs, and I call on everyone in the subcommittee to vote against the bill and to work towards a better bill that we can all be proud of on behalf of our constituents. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
I thank the gentlelady for her opening comments. Ms. Torres.
Thank you, Chairman. I also want to join my colleagues in thanking you and your staff for, it's not always good news or great news, but at least they deliver it promptly and without reservations. So thank you for communicating so well with all of us. And, I join in the sadness of my colleague, my classmate. We came in together, and I will miss you dearly. As far as the bill goes, I really hope that we can have a second bite at this apple. I am disappointed at some of the cuts that we have. And just to give you a little background on the district that I represent, the Inland Empire, the west end of San Bernardino County and part of Riverside County, we're a freight corridor. We are, our community is made up of hardworking warehouse workers, truckers that drive all the goods that come in through the Port of LA and Long Beach to my district in order for it to be redistributed throughout the U.S., mostly the western states. These people need resources. They need some assistance. They refuse, they don't want another welfare program, but they need right now, with the cost of living, the doubling of diesel and gasoline. They're very frustrated. They're frustrated with us that we haven't been able to stand up to the policies that are driving the high cost of living. They know exactly who's to blame on this. And they don't have to look very far. When the president was recently asked about if he thinks about the suffering of hardworking Americans, the president was very clear. He said that he does not think about Americans' financial situation, and not even a little bit. And it shows. And it shows when we are cutting programs like the bill cuts $355 million in rental assistance and vouchers. These people are working. They're working, but the minimum wage just simply isn't enough for them to be able to make rent and buy groceries, much less put gas in their cars. So public transportation is critical. $250 million cut to homeless assistance grants. The budget not only cuts $500 million from the home program, the largest federal program aimed at building affordable housing. I don't know how we're going to be able to meet the needs of our growing society, especially, if we're trying to get American young women to have more babies. We need to be able to support these households by ensuring that we are facilitating the building of affordable housing. So, it gets rid of the pro-housing program, which helps states and local governments get rid of the red tape. All of us here talk about the red tape and, dealing with all of these policies that make it unaffordable and nearly impossible to build the number of units that we need. So, in short, I want to say thank you for trying to work with us, but I really do hope that we can have a second bite at this apple in the near future. And with that, I yield back to you, Chairman.
I thank the gentlelady. Are there any other members wishing to make opening comments? Recognizing none, there are no amendments to be offered. I would be remiss having everybody saying nice things about Ms. Watson Coleman, and I join the chorus of people anxious to wish you the very best on this last markup day. But we also have one on the other side who is probably enjoying his last markup, and that's Mr. Zinke. And Ryan, I can tell you on behalf of this committee, we appreciate your participation and the perspective you have brought to this committee and to Congress writ large. As a SEAL team commander and as a cabinet secretary, the perspective you've given us has been very helpful in our deliberations, and we could not thank you more for your service. I yield to the overall chairman.
I was just going to say, it's a lot harder to say nice things about you than it is about Ms. Watson Coleman. I mean, to my Democratic friends, the first time I really, it's hard to miss Ryan Zinke in a crowd because he's a pretty big guy, pretty impressive fellow, but he got up in front of the Republican caucus as a freshman, and we were in a caucus meeting, and it was kind of rowdy, and all of a sudden we hear this shout, and he goes, "Hey, I really can kill anybody in this room with a pencil." And it got really quiet. And but we are going to miss you a great deal, and you've served your country in so many ways. We appreciate your service, obviously, and got to know you here, but we also serve with other men and women that served with you in uniform, and I know what they think of you and the leadership that you provided them. And just thank you not only for your friendship and all you've done to enrich our committee and the Congress, and my friend Mr. Womack is certainly right about the value of having the executive perspective that you've brought to us. But just thanks for a lifetime of dedication to the United States of America. And for when none of us knew you, you were defending all of us. So all of us, I know on both sides of the aisle, both parties are grateful for that particular service and that dedication to your country. So thank you very much, my friend. And you actually will be missed. Don't be a stranger at age 216, because I know you like to smoke cigars, and I know you like an occasional bourbon. So you're back.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and the highest compliment comes from an Army colonel, so thank you, sir. And then, you know, you've given me a glimpse of hope. I'm a big process guy. I think in this body, we've lost perspective of the Constitution. And the way it was set up was our brilliant founding fathers, they understood authorization. As we're supposed to authorize everything. The authorization of the committee is supposed to be the menu. And then, as the chairman has pointed out over and over again, our budget committee, the House Budget Committee, is supposed to pass the budget resolution. For the Democrat side, if you pass the biggest budget you can get passed, for the Republicans, it's the most conservative budget that you can pass the House. And then it's supposed to go to appropriations, and appropriations is simply to match what's on the menu and appropriate the money. But we order off the menu all the time because most of what we do is not authorized. And then lastly, a great glimpse of hope that we can get back to conference committees. And conference committees, I think, what they do really is the edges. They round the edges out. And I think member to member, I've never seen a problem where a member to member can't address. We may disagree on Buffalo or guns or one of the issues, but we can talk about it. And sometimes I think we lose that as members and make sure our product is member-driven and not staff-led. I love the staff. No one works harder, but we're responsible for it. And member to members, I think, going again. So with that, Mr. Chairman, thank you for your leadership. You've been terrific. I can't think of a better member and a better leader for this body as appropriations. And I think you're terrific, too. Thank you.
I thank the gentleman.
Yield back.
Is there anybody else who wants to join the Love Fest this morning? Yeah. Mr. Espaillat.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Ranking Member. This funding bill, at a time when there is a terrible housing crisis in our country, falls severely short. Specifically, the bill cuts funding for public housing and Section 8 housing. It does nothing to stop really the shortfall of housing choice vouchers in the public housing agencies around the country. Despite what the Secretary Turner said the other day during our hearing, it doesn't seem like he is interested in keeping families together. Of course, the public housing fund falls short by $1.2 billion, and Section 8, which has been an important tool to help families afford affordable housing and have a roof over their head, also falls short by $355 million. So as we go through the country and we see homelessness go right through the roof, as we go around the country and see how difficult it is for family to pay for housing, many of them are paying over 50% of their income towards rent. We don't see an investment in this budget for that, and that's really shameful because I think the country is hurting. And so this is a real challenge for this budget and this funding bill and for the nation. I hope that we can address that aggressively. And finally, the Secretary talked about splitting mixed status families. And I continuously asked him what's going to happen to the kids that are U.S. citizens, and he couldn't answer that. So if we're going to be about family values, if we're going to keep families together, and we're going to resort to the Bible, then we should be able to answer that question. What's going to happen to these kids that are U.S.-born citizens that we're denying basic services to? Thank you, and I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
I thank the gentleman. There are no amendments that I see, and before I recognize Ms. Bice for a motion, let me just remind everyone that this is, there's been a reference or two to the getting another bite at the apple. Here in a couple of weeks, there will be another bite at the apple when we have this bill before the full committee. And then, of course, we all need to remind ourselves from time to time that the Senate gets a vote in this process too, and one day we'll have an opportunity to match our product with the Senate product, and let's just hope that this process can unfold in a timely way so that we can keep America funded and give an opportunity for these agencies that we are funding to be able to make the plans accordingly. And with that said, I'll recognize Ms. Bice for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move the bill be favorably reported to the full committee.
The question is on the motion. Those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. Opinion of chair, the ayes have it. Motion is agreed to. Mr. Clyburn.
I'd like to have a recorded vote.
There is a recorded vote that has been requested. All those in favor of recorded vote, please raise your hand. Sufficient number having done so. A recorded vote is ordered. Clerk, will you call the roll?
Mr. Aguilar? Mr. Aguilar, no. Mrs. Bice? Mrs. Bice, aye. Mr. Siscomani? Mr. Siscomani, aye. Mr. Clyburn?
No.
Mr. Clyburn, no. Mr. Cole? Mr. Cole, aye. Ms. DeLauro?
No.
Ms. DeLauro, no. Mr. Espaillat?
No.
Mr. Espaillat, no. Mr. Joyce? Aye. Mr. Joyce, aye. Mr. Quigley? No. Mr. Quigley, no. Mr. Rogers? Mr. Rutherford? Aye. Mr. Rutherford, aye. Mr. Shreve? Aye. Mr. Shreve, aye. Mr. Strong? Aye. Mr. Strong, aye. Mrs. Torres? No. Mrs. Torres, no. Mrs. Watson-Coleman?
Bonnie.
Watson-Coleman, no. Mr. Womack?
Aye.
Mr. Womack, aye. Mr. Zinke? Mr. Zinke, aye.
Does any member wish to change their vote? Jim? Just kidding. Clerk will tally. On this vote, the yeas are 9, the nays are 7. The bill is favorably reported to the full committee. I ask unanimous consent that staff be permitted to make technical and conforming changes to the bill and report. Without objection, so ordered. Copies of the bill and report with the technical and conforming changes will be delivered to the full committee members' offices no later than 3 business days before the full committee markup. I want to thank everybody for being here. Not lost on me is the fact that we were all together last night till about midnight, 11:30-ish or so. So thank you for being here and alert this morning. And that concludes this morning's markup. The committee stands adjourned.
Thank you, brother.